Rain slams the Brooklyn warehouse like God himself is trying to wash the sin off the roof. Water pours through bullet holes in the tin, drumming on rusted barrels and broken crates. One naked bulb hangs from a frayed cord, swinging slow, throwing shadows that crawl up the walls like ghosts looking for a way out. In the middle of that circle of weak yellow light stands Marcus Hayes, soaked to the bone, wrists zip-tied so tight the plastic cuts skin. Blood runs from his split lip, mixing with the rain dripping off his chin. He don't flinch, he don't beg, he just breathes, steady as a man who already died once and came back meaner. Vincent Vinny the Blade, Morty circles him like a shark that smells blood but can't find the wound. Gold pinky ring flashing every time the bulb swings. Cuban cigar glowing red between his teeth. The capo of the Morty family, the man whose name makes grown gangsters cross the street, presses the cold chrome of a .45 right between Marcus's eyes. The metal kisses skin. You can hear the rain, the drip from the ceiling, the nervous shuffle of Vinny's soldiers standing back in the dark. Nothing else. 12 years Marcus been pushing that same mop across these same docks, same warehouse, same bloodstains that never quite come clean no matter how much bleach he pours. 12 years showing up early, leaving late, head down, mouth shut. The quiet black janitor nobody looked at twice, until tonight. Vinny leans in close enough that Marcus smells the expensive cologne mixed with cigar smoke and fear sweat. 12 years you've been sweeping my floors, Marcus, he hisses, voice low and ugly. 12 years eating my scraps, smiling like a good little. He lets the word hang, the one he knows cuts deeper than any blade. Ash drops from the cigar, lands on Marcus's scuffed timberlands like grey snow. The soldiers snicker, nervous laughs that bounce off concrete and die quick. One of them spits on the floor Marcus mopped yesterday. Vinny presses the barrel harder, grinding it into bone. And tonight you steal from me. His finger tightens on the trigger. The hammer clicks back. That sound echoes louder than thunder. Marcus lifts his head slow. Rainwater streams down his face like tears he refuses to cry. His eyes, Lord, those eyes, are older than the body holding them. They look straight through Vinny, through the gun, through every lie the capo ever told himself about who runs these streets. The warehouse goes quieter than quiet. Even the rain seems to hold its breath. Vinny snarls, all teeth and fury. Any last words, boy? Marcus smiles, not big, just enough to show he still got all his teeth after the beating they gave him. His voice comes out soft, almost kind, the way a father talks to a child who done something real stupid. You sure, he says, you want to see what's under this shirt before you pull that trigger? The soldiers laugh louder this time, but it's shaky. They think the janitor done lost his mind. Vinny don't laugh. Something cold slides down his spine, the kind of cold no amount of money ever keeps out. He's killed men for less than a wrong look. Killed men begging, crying, pissing themselves. None of them ever looked at him like this. None of them ever smiled. Vinny's free hand shoots out, grabs the front of Marcus's soaked janitor shirt. Fabric rips like a gunshot. Buttons fly, ping off metal drums, disappear into puddles. The shirt hangs open, clinging to Marcus's chest. And there, lit by that swinging devil of a bulb, is the tattoo. An old-school lion, fierce and proud, wearing a crown made of thorns that dig into its own flesh. Blood drips from every spike. And underneath, in thick Gothic letters deep as scars, 3 words in perfect Italian, Fratelli di Sang. Brothers of blood. The .45 trembles in Vinny's hand like it suddenly weighs 1,000 pounds. The cigar falls from his lips, hisses dead in a puddle. His mouth opens, but no sound comes out. The soldiers see it too. One by one, their smirks die. Somebody's cigarette hits the floor, forgotten. The bulb stops swinging, like even it don't want to move right now. Vinny's eyes fill with something worse than terror. Recognition, memory, guilt sharp enough to cut soul deep. His knees buckle. Expensive Italian loafers splash into the dirty water. The gun slips from his fingers, clatters loud as church bells on the concrete. Vincent Morty, the man who made widows and orphans before breakfast, drops to his knees in front of the janitor he was about to murder. Because 25 years ago, in a different life, on a different continent, under a different name, Marcus Hayes saved Vincent Morty's life, pulled him out of a burning car in Naples after a deal went bad, took 2 bullets meant for the scared 20-year-old kid who hadn't earned his bones yet, carried him 3 miles through enemy territory while the kid cried like a baby in his arms. And when it was over, when the kid asked how to ever repay him, Marcus only asked one thing: when you make it, little brother, remember who carried you, and never forget the blood we spilled together. Fratelli di Sang, sealed in ink and fire, and a promise neither of them ever thought would come due. Vinny's soldiers don't know what the hell is happening. They look from their boss on his knees to the janitor, standing calm like a king who just took his throne back. Hands still zip-tied, blood still dripping, but something shifted in that warehouse. Power flipped like a coin you didn't see spin. Marcus looks down at the man shaking at his feet. His voice stays soft, almost sad. You raised a gun to your own brother, Vinny. You ready to live with that? The rain keeps falling. The bulb sways again, slow and accusing. And somewhere in the dark, one of the soldiers reaches for his own weapon, not sure whose side he's on anymore. But that's a story for another night. Because blood don't forget, and dignity, real dignity, don't need permission to stand tall. Never forget who carried you. The warehouse door slams shut like the lid on a coffin. Rain still hammers the roof, but inside it feels colder than outside. Vinny stays on his knees in the dirty water, staring up at the man he was ready to erase 10 seconds ago. His soldiers shift uneasy, hands hovering near guns, waiting for an order that ain't coming. The only sound is Vinny's breathing, ragged and wet, like a man drowning on dry land. Marcus stands over him, wrists still bound, blood dripping from his mouth, but his eyes carry a weight heavier than any chain. And right there, under that swinging bulb, the past comes crashing in like a wave nobody saw coming. Let me take you back, 12 years back. Naples, Italy, narrow alley behind a fish market that stank of guts and gunpowder. A 23-year-old Vincent Morty, still green, still scared under all that loud mouth, lies curled on cobblestones bleeding from a gut shot. Car bomb went off too early. His own people left him to die so they wouldn't get caught. Blood pools under him, warm then cold. He's praying in Italian, in English, in any language that'll listen. Footsteps. He thinks it's the Reaper. Instead it's boots. American combat boots. A black soldier in uniform steps over the bodies, kneels in the mess without hesitation. Big hands press a belt tight against Vinny's stomach, so tight Vinny screams. The soldier's voice is calm, speaking perfect Calabrese dialect, the kind only locals know. Stay with me, little brother, I got you. Bullets snap overhead. The soldier throws Vinny over his shoulder like he weighs nothing and starts running. 3 miles through enemy streets, gunfire popping, sirens screaming. Every step jars the wound, but those arms never shake. When they finally reach safety, dawn bleeding pink over the ocean, the soldier lays Vinny down behind a church wall. He checks the bleeding, tears his own shirt for fresh bandages. Vinny, half dead, grabs the man's wrist. What's your name? I owe you everything. The soldier just smiles, tired and kind. Name, Sergeant Elijah Hayes. And one day, brother, the blood debt comes due. Then he pulls up his sleeve, shows the tattoo, lion with the crown of thorns, Fratelli di Sang inked underneath, and disappears into the morning light before the medics even arrive. Vinny never sees him again, until tonight. Cut back to right now, same warehouse, same blood on the floor, only older. Vinny's empire grew fat on that life he was gifted. He came to America, climbed the ladder stepping on necks, breaking knees, burying bodies under this very concrete. And every night for 12 years, Marcus Hayes showed up with a mop and bucket, quiet as a shadow, cleaning up after the monster Vincent Morty became. Erasing fingerprints, scrubbing DNA, bleaching away the evidence of every sin. Never asked for nothing. Never looked up, just swept. Tonight, $800,000 vanished from a heroin crate. Security cameras catch a dark figure near the shipment right before the cash went missing. Vinny, nose bleeding from the coke he snorted to stay sharp, watches the grainy footage 20 times. That figure wears a janitor's jumpsuit. Marcus. Paranoia eats him alive. Everybody's a rat. Everybody's laughing at him. He drags Marcus in here himself, pistol whips him in front of the crew to show who's still boss. The soldiers circle like hyenas, loving the show. Vinny's screaming, veins popping, spit flying. You think, cause you black I won't kill you. I put niggers in the ground before you were born. I'll bury you right here with the rest. The gun barrel digs so deep into Marcus's forehead it leaves a perfect circle bruise. Soldiers chant, do it boss, teach him. Finger tightens. 1 pound of pressure, maybe less, and Marcus Hayes becomes another ghost under the floorboards. Marcus don't blink. Blood runs into his eye, but he don't blink. His voice stays low, almost tender, the way you talk to a child having a nightmare. I cleaned your blood off these floors for 12 years, Vinny. Your enemy's blood, your soldier's blood, sometimes innocent blood. I never said a word. You really gonna add mine tonight? Vinny's hand shakes. Sweat mixes with the rain on his face. Something in Marcus's eyes makes his stomach flip worse than any bullet ever did. The soldiers keep pushing. He played you, boss. End him. But Vinny hears Naples in Marcus's voice. Hears those footsteps running through gunfire. Hears that calm promise whispered over his own screams. Marcus leans forward, just enough that the gun barrel touches bone. His next words come out soft as a prayer and sharp as a blade. Does the name Sergeant Elijah Hayes mean anything to you anymore, little brother? The warehouse goes dead, not quiet, dead, like the world just stopped spinning. Vinny's eyes go wide, pupils blown. The gun slips an inch. His mouth opens, closes, opens again. A sound comes out like a kicked dog. The soldiers look at each other, confused, scared, because their boss is crumbling right in front of them and they don't know why. Marcus keeps talking, voice steady, sorrowful, carrying 25 years of patience. I carried a terrified boy through fire, Vinny, promised him he'd live to be a man, watched him turn into this. He looks around at the guns, the drugs, the fear. I kept my promise, been keeping it every night I cleaned up your mess, waiting to see if you'd remember yours. Vinny drops the gun. It splashes into the puddle like it's red hot. His hands come up to his face, and for the first time in decades, Vincent Morty cries. Big, ugly sobs that echo off the walls. The soldiers step back, not sure whether to shoot Marcus or run. Power just flipped in a room full of killers, and nobody pulled a trigger. Marcus stands there, calm as Sunday morning, letting the man who was about to murder him break apart at his feet. Because some debts don't get paid with money. Some debts get paid with memory, with shame, with the moment you finally look in the mirror and see the monster you became. And sometimes the strongest man in the room is the one who spent 12 years on his knees, with a moppy waiting for the boy he saved to grow a soul again. But the night ain't over. $800,000 is still missing, and soldiers who just watched their boss cry don't always stay loyal. Blood remembers, but greed forgets. Hold that thought, because the real storm is just walking through the door. The bulb flickers once, twice, like it's trying to decide whether to stay lit or let the whole room go dark. Water drips from the ceiling in a slow, steady beat, counting down the seconds of a life that just changed forever. Vinny's soldiers stand frozen, mouths open, guns half-raised but forgotten. Their boss is on his knees in filthy water, chest heaving, face twisted like a man staring straight into hell and realizing the devil knows his real name. Marcus stands over him, wrists raw from the zip ties, blood crusting at the corner of his mouth. But his back is straight now, shoulders square, like 12 years of bending just snapped loose. Marcus's voice cuts through the rain noise, low and steady, every word placed careful as a landmine. Naples, 1987. You were 22 years old, Vincent, pretty boy with slick hair and big dreams, thought you could run a load past the Camorra and live to brag about it. He pauses. The warehouse holds its breath. Car bomb took out your driver. You crawled out burning, guts hanging, screaming for your mama in Calabrese so pure even the rats understood. My daddy, Sergeant Elijah Hayes, United States Marine Corps, was on leave, walking home from the bar when he heard you crying like a baby in that alley. He could have kept walking. Nobody would have blamed a black American in a foreign country for minding his own. But Daddy never left a man behind. Not ever. Vinny's head jerks up. Tears and rain stream down his cheeks, cutting clean lines through the sweat and coke residue. His lips tremble, but no sound comes out yet. Marcus keeps going, voice dropping softer, more dangerous. Daddy threw you over his shoulder, bullets skipping off the walls. He ran 3 miles with you bleeding all over his dress blues, used his own belt to cinch your intestines back inside, gave you plasma from his own vein when the medics were still 10 minutes out. O negative, same as yours, rare, life for life. Marcus's chest rises, falls, the memory hurting him worse than any beating. That night in the hospital, when you finally stopped crying, you begged him to stay, begged him like a little brother. So he took you to that old tattoo shop on Via Toledo, held your hand while the needle burned that lion into your skin, made you swear on your mother's grave, Fratelli di Sang, brothers forever, no matter what. A sob rips out of Vinny's throat, ugly and broken. He claws at the wet concrete like he can dig his way back in time. Marcus's eyes glisten now, but his voice stays iron. 2 years later, Daddy came home in a pine box, flag folded tight on the coffin. Mama stood there in her Sunday dress while some white officer told her how sorry America was. Said the Morty family promised to take care of us. Said Vincent Morty gave his personal word. Marcus laughs, bitter, short. Mama died waiting for that promise. Cancer ate her slow while the bills piled up. I was 10 years old burying my hero, wondering why the brother he saved never even sent a card. The soldiers shift, ashamed without knowing why. One of them lowers his gun completely, another looks away. Marcus leans down just enough that Vinny has to look straight up into his eyes. So I came looking, found you running these docks. Rich now, feared. You didn't recognize the quiet black kid pushing the mop. Why would you? I was nobody. Just another pair of hands to clean your messes you made. 12 years I bleached your blood, your drugs, your shame off these floors. 12 years I watched you forget everything Daddy taught you about honor. Waiting. Praying one day you'd see the lion on my chest and remember the boy you used to be. Vinny reaches out with shaking hands, fingers brushing Marcus's soaked pant leg like it's holy. Fratello, Elijah's son, I didn't know. I swear on my mother, on every saint, I didn't know it was you. His voice cracks wide open, 25 years of cruelty pouring out with the tears. Marcus looks down at the hand touching him. Something flickers across his face, pain older than anger. For a second, it looks like he might forgive. Then his eyes harden again. I ain't your Fratello tonight, Vincent. The name lands like a slap. Tonight I'm the debt you never paid, the promise you pissed on, the blood you let dry. Vinny collapses forward, forehead pressing against Marcus's worn work boots, sobbing loud enough to rattle the tin roof. The soldiers don't know where to look. Power just bled out of their boss and pooled around the feet of the janitor they laughed at an hour ago. Marcus stares at the broken man for a long, quiet moment. Rain keeps falling. Somewhere far off, thunder rolls like God clearing his throat. Then Marcus speaks again, softer now, almost sad. Daddy used to say a man's only as big as the weight he carries for others. You dropped that weight a long time ago, Vincent. Question is, can you pick it back up before it crushes what's left of your soul? He steps back. The zip ties finally snap under the strain of his quiet strength, or maybe an unseen knife from one of the soldiers who suddenly can't meet Vinny's eyes. Marcus rubs his wrists, looks around the warehouse that used to feel like a cage and now feels like a courtroom. Vinny stays on his knees, whispering the same words over and over. I didn't know, I didn't know. Marcus turns toward the door. Rain blows in hard when he pushes it open, lightning flashing white across his face. He pauses, speaks without looking back. $800,000 is still missing, Vincent, and your boys here look nervous. Better figure out real quick who you gonna trust, because the lion just showed his teeth. The door swings wide. Marcus steps into the storm like he owns it. Behind him, Vinny kneels in the water, crying for a brother he forgot and a debt he can never fully repay. Some lessons come gentle, some come with thunder. But every last one of them comes. And the measure of a man ain't how many bow to him. It's how many he bows to when the truth finally stands taller than his pride. Hold on to your soul, family, because one day the past walks back in wearing the face you least expect and asks you who you really are. The rain don't stop, neither does justice. Dawn creeps in slow, pale grey light slipping through the broken warehouse windows like it's scared to touch what happened here tonight. The rain has softened to a whisper, tapping the tin roof the way a mother taps a sleeping child's back. Puddles on the concrete glow pink and gold with the first touch of sunrise. The soldiers are gone. Vinny's voice, cracked and raw, sent them away minutes ago. Everybody out, now. No yelling, no threats. Just a broken order they obeyed faster than any scream ever made them move. Boots splash, doors slam, engines cough to life and disappear down the waterfront, leaving only two men in a building that suddenly feels too big, too empty, too honest. Vinny stands in the middle of the floor, suit ruined, hair plastered to his skull, looking smaller than any kingpin has a right to look. His hands shake so hard the pocket knife chatters against the zip tie as he saws through the plastic on Marcus's wrists. When the tie snaps free, red welts bloom angry around Marcus's skin, but he don't rub them. He just watches Vinny, quiet, waiting. Vinny drops the knife like it burns, then he drops himself. Knees hit the wet concrete with a splash that echoes like a gunshot in church. He bows his head, water pooling around his polished shoes that ain't never gonna shine again. Take it, he whispers, voice hoarse from crying. Take the docks, take the cash, take every brick I own, take my life if you want it. I owe you more than I got in this world. The words spill out like poison he's been carrying 25 years. I'm sorry, Elijah. I'm sorry, little brother. I forgot everything good anybody ever did for me. Marcus don't move at first. He just looks down at the man who ruled half of Brooklyn now folded in half at his feet. The same man who had a gun to his head 3 hours ago. The silence stretches long enough for miles. You can hear the rain, the distant horn of a barge on the river, the soft drip-drip from the ceiling counting heartbeats. Then Marcus does something nobody expects. He steps forward, bends down, and slides his strong hands under Vinny's arms like a father lifting a tired child. Gentle, but there's no weakness in it. He raises Vinny up until they're eye to eye. Vinny tries to look away, can't stand his own reflection in Marcus's gaze, but Marcus won't let him. I never wanted your empire, Vincent, Marcus says, voice low and steady, carrying every year of swallowed pain. Never wanted your money. I just wanted you to see me, to remember the boy my daddy carried, to remember the promise you made when you were too scared to lie. He reaches slow into his back pocket. Vinny flinches like he expects a gun. Instead, Marcus pulls out an old leather wallet, cracked and soft from years of honest work. He opens it with care, slides out a photograph so faded the edges are curling. He holds it between them so the weak dawn light can touch it. There they are, a young black soldier in dress blues, arms slung around a skinny Italian kid with slicked back hair and a grin too big for his face. Both of them shirtless in that Naples tattoo shop, fresh ink shining on their chests. Same lion, same crown of thorns, same 3 words underneath. 2 boys who believed brotherhood could outrun the world. Vinny makes a sound like his heart just got ripped out. He takes the photo with trembling fingers, touches his younger self like he's touching a ghost. Tears fall heavy, splashing onto the picture, but the smiles in the photo don't wash away. Marcus pulls Vinny into his arms then. No hesitation. Strong, certain, the same arms that carried a dying boy through gunfire all those years ago. Vinny resists for half a heartbeat, shame too heavy, then collapses into the embrace like a dam finally breaking. His sobs are loud, ugly, healing things that shake his whole body. Marcus holds him tight, one hand on the back of Vinny's neck, the other across his shoulders, rocking him just a little, the way you rock somebody who's been lost a long time. I got you, little brother, Marcus murmurs into Vinny's wet hair. I never stopped having you. They stay like that while the sun climbs higher, turning the puddles to mirrors, turning the warehouse into something almost holy. Two men who should have been enemies, holding each other up in the same spot where one almost murdered the other. Blood debt paid, not with bullets or money, but with tears and memory and the kind of sorry that carves a man hollow so grace can move in. Marcus finally pulls back, cups Vinny's face in his rough hands, forces eye contact. You gonna be all right now, he says, not a question, a promise, but you gonna carry this weight right from now on. You gonna remember every time you're tempted to forget. Vinny nods, can't speak yet, just nods hard, tears still coming. Marcus smiles then, small and tired and real. He taps the lion on his own chest. This ain't just ink, it's a reminder, we protect our own. Starting today, you start protecting the people you used to step on. That's how you start paying what you really owe. Vinny swallows, finds his voice. Anything you need. Marcus looks around the empty warehouse, at the crates, the money, the power that almost cost both their souls. He shakes his head. I just needed my brother back. The rain stops. First light pours in golden, washing the blood and the shame toward the drains. Two men stand in the quiet, arms around each other, breathing the same air for the first time in 25 years. Some debts can't be settled with cash or blood. Some debts only get settled when pride finally kneels and a man remembers he was once small, once saved, once loved without condition. When he looks up and sees the face of Mercy wearing the same tattoo he tried to forget. Never forget the hands that carried you through your worst night. Because one day you'll have to decide whether you'll spend the rest of your life running from them or spend it trying to be worthy of them. The lion don't always roar. Sometimes he just stands still long enough for a lost soul to find its way home. And dignity, real dignity, ain't never too proud to cry in the rain. Hold your people close, family, because the strongest thing a man can do is let himself be lifted when his own legs won't hold him anymore. That's the only debt that matters, and it's always, always due.